Allow yourself to be exactly who you are right now. Hi everyone, I'm Agi and this is Reach Your Soul. Today I would like to talk about something a little bit differently, not specifically about the twin flame journey or about the separation or about the divine masculine. I'd like to talk about something that to me lies underneath all of those experiences. Something much more fundamental, whether we can truly allow ourselves to be who we are, exactly as we are right now in this moment. At first, that might sound like a strange question. After all, who else could we possibly be? But the more people I work with, the more I realize that this may be one of the hardest things any of us ever learns to do. Because from the very beginning, from very young age, we were taught who we should be. We should stay calm, to stay strong, smile, be spiritual, be always for others there, be patient, prove yourself. And somewhere along the way, almost without noticing it, we slowly begin to drift away from what we are actually feeling. And I've been there too, and I won't pretend it is easy. Honestly, I don't think this is something we ever finish. It's like the household stuff in the kitchen. I think it's a lifelong work, and not because we have to keep fixing ourselves forever and healing the inner child. No, but because we are staying connected to ourselves. And this is a very important thing, to choose this every day, again and again, consciously. And for a long time, I believed that I wanted to help other people, and I thought that I have to be strong. The one who has all the answers, the one who always looked grounded and confident. So I could hide behind different roles for a while. I was hiding inside my marriage. Then I was hiding in another country or living in differently in different languages. I was hiding in an office job, and somehow life kept giving me the same lessons over and over again. And everywhere I went, people found me. People wanted to be seen. They wanted me to listen, to support them. Someone who could offer a kind word or simply to be present with them. And I always felt that this mattered, because not everyone grows up receiving that kind of attention in the family. Not everyone has someone who truly listens. And still, I believe that if I was going to support others, I always had to be strong and I always had to know the answer. I thought I always had to appear balanced, even when I was exhausted. And if I'm honest, that was incredibly tiring. Because the truth is that I'm not always like that. Sometimes things become crystal clear to me almost instantly, and sometimes I see exactly what needs to be seen. And other times I'm also full of questions. Sometimes I don't know what is the next step. Sometimes I'm also hesitating. But now I learned to live with this feeling. Sometimes I'm brave enough, sometimes I hold myself a little bit back and keep up with my healthy boundaries. And I realized that I just wanted to to give, and I gave so much from myself. And I forgot to keep my energy with me. And yes, there are times when I'm overflowing because I have too much from this love, from this energy. And that's completely different from trying to give from myself, from inside, when somebody really needs something from me. And sometimes I have something to offer, and sometimes I don't have anything to offer because I need the energy for me. And there are people, yes, they are longing for attention, longing for encouragement, longing for being with me, with this energy. And sometimes I have a feeling that it's never enough for them. And years ago, I always thought that I have to give even if I have nothing to give, because they need it more than me. And today I feel exactly the opposite. I think these experiences make me human. And I think that also this is why the videos keep changing. Sometimes my voice sounds different. Sometimes my style changes. And honestly, I don't mind it at all. There are days when I speak very directly, maybe even a little too strong for everyone. There are other days when I find myself sharing stories about my own life, because I truly believe that we often learn through each other's experiences. And sometimes I simply share something I've noticed during my journey or during the journey with others. And sometimes I just record relaxation exercises. And sometimes I give you information how I'm moving through different processes. And you can see from these all that you are not alone. I give courage, keep going. And years ago, all these things would have bothered me because I thought I have to be consistent. I believed that I have to choose only one thing and show that, one message, one role, one identity. But looking back, I can see that this has always been my path. I've always felt that I could connect with many people, many different personalities, and that somehow I naturally become the person or maybe the energy that someone needed at that particular moment. And not because I was trying to be someone else, but because I could meet people where they were. And sometimes all we really need is someone who reflects something back to us. Someone who keeps or helps us recognize a part of ourselves we have forgotten, a mirror actually. And for a long time, I didn't see that this was one of my gifts. I thought there was something wrong with me because I couldn't fit into one single box. I admired people who seemed to know from very early age exactly what they wanted to do. They chose one profession, they studied one thing, and they built their career according to this and stayed on that path for the rest of their lives. I thought that it was success, what I also need to achieve. But then I just realized that not every part of me speaks at the same time. Maybe that's one of the reasons I talk about both twin flames and dual partners. It's still me speaking. It's always me, but different parts of me come forward, deepening on what wants to be expressed through me. And I actually think many of us are like that. We spend so much time trying to discover our true selves, the one real version of who we are. And I don't believe that anymore, because I've realized that not every part of me speaks at the same time. Maybe that's one of the reasons I talk about both twin flames and dual partners. It's still me speaking. It's always me, but different parts of me come forward depending on what wants to be expressed through me. And I actually think many of us are like that. We spend so much time trying to discover our true selves, the one real version of who we are. We search for our twin flame. We search for the one perfect career, the one purpose that everyone says we finally make us feel fulfilled. Sometimes we become anxious simply because we have no idea and we don't know what that one thing is, and we keep searching and searching and searching and wondering why we still haven't found it. But what if there isn't only just one version of you? What if there isn't only one calling? What if you are made up of many, many beautiful parts? One part of you is confident and the other one is quiet. One part is deeply passionate and the other one needs time to rest. One part naturally leads and the other knows when it's time to ask for help or withdraw. One of those parts, and none of those parts are false. Every single one of them belongs to you. And I don't think the real struggle is that these different parts exist. I think the struggle begins when the ego decides that some of them are no longer welcome and wants to get rid of it. When we feel that I shouldn't feel like this, I shouldn't say like this, a coach or a therapist can't feel uncertain, and the spiritual person shouldn't be angry at all, and the strong woman or man shouldn't cry. And little by little, we stop rejecting our emotions. We start rejecting ourselves. I see this in my work all the time. People often think the hardest part is learning a new technique or talking about the past or heal. But it's rarely is. Very often, the hardest part is allowing themselves to be exactly where they are. Allowing themselves to say, this is how I feel today, this is who I am today, without immediately trying to explain or fix it, without correcting themselves all the time, without pushing away the parts they don't like, without hiding their true self beneath these spiritual expressions and pretending that they are further along on the way than they really are. And when it happens, something beautiful begins here. When we stop fighting with ourselves, our energy begins to return, and not because every problem suddenly disappears, not at all, but because we are no longer spending our energy, time, and ourselves to become someone we are not. And these days, I don't want to look perfect anymore. Just want to be present. Just want to keep growing. Want to make mistakes and want to learn from them. And I also want to see what my path shows me. And it's not a straight path. It's a roller coaster. And I think we can connect when we recognize pieces of ourselves in someone else's story. I'd like to leave you with something to reflect on. Over the next few days, just notice which part of yourself are you still trying to hide? Which feelings do you struggle to make room for? And there is a part of you that quietly says, I can't let anyone else see this part of me. If you notice any of these voices in yourself, just pause for a moment and gently ask yourself, who told me that I have to hide this? Is it really my own voice, or is it something I bring from the family, or some old patterns I'm repeating all the time? And maybe this message will land differently for everyone. Maybe it doesn't resonate at all, what I was talking about today. And it's perfectly okay as well. Everyone has their own timing. And if you think this conversation helps, just a tiny bit, just go with it. And then the more I walk this path, the more I feel that self-discovery isn't about becoming something and someone new. It's about letting the stories go away and give space to something, what we truly are, without any expectations, judgment. Step by step. And when that begins to happen, something inside you relaxes. You realize that you don't have to be expert, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers at the same time, and you don't even have to become someone else before you are worthy of love, connection, and belonging. So you simply need to stay connected to yourself again and again and again, consciously. Choose the same every day. Because that relationship, the one you have with yourself, is the one you will carry with you for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And before we say goodbye, I'd like to leave you with one simple thought. Allow yourself to be exactly who you are right now. Not who you think you should be, not who you think others would like to see. Simply who you can be today in this very moment. And wherever you are on your journey, stay connected to yourself. Thank you for being here, and I'm wishing you a beautiful journey. And take good care of yourself, and always trust your intuition. And if you need support, you find my details and the website in the video description. See you in the next video. Bye bye.